Hi, my name is Lee and welcome to my channel Cola Flipper. I'm a UK eBay reseller. I buy second-hand items at car boot sales and charity shops and I flip them online for a profit. Not a haul video today, something a little bit different. A lot of people have been asking about my backdrop for my photos of smallish items. So I thought I'd show you exactly what I use and I'll tell you a little bit about it. For my purposes, I'm a part-time eBayer, part-time reseller, and I don't have the facility to have an eBay room. I don't have somewhere where I can permanently set up an air photo area. I don't have an area where I can permanently set up all my stock, etc. So I have to be quite fluid and flexible and be able to move my stuff around the house. So whilst I've now got external storage, one of the things I do need to do with regards to photography is be very, very portable. So I'll do another full-on video another time to show you my full photo setup and what I use and why, but I wanted to show you the backgrounds. Because I don't have the space, I need to be able to store stuff away, and what I've got these boards. These are very light, as you can see. Just hold that one hand. These are foam core boards, and you can get these from places like Hobbycraft. And what I've done, I've bought some self-adhesive sort of sticky back plastic type film, vinyl. This is by a company called DC Fix. So you can get that from Amazon. I'll stick in the description, there'll be affiliate links. So if you want to buy anything, basically click on the link, and if you buy anything through the affiliate link, I get a 2 or 3% kickback from Amazon. You don't have to get it from Amazon, you can get it wherever you like, but it's near enough the same price on Amazon as it is in places like The Range or Wilco's. Places like that will also stock it, but it's this basically DC Fix self-adhesive vinyl film. So what I've got are these foam boards, and I have sort of well, it's a bit too reflective there, I'll move that back. So this is a white and grey marble style finish on one side, and then on the other side sort of a mottled concrete. Now, one thing that's very, very important when you're taking photos is you want to get your colours to look accurate. And whilst you could go wild and have different wacky colours, because a lot of the time I used to use a lot of yellow backgrounds, one of the problems is it throws out your colour balance, and your camera, if it sees an awful lot of yellow or an awful lot of blue or an awful lot of green, it thinks that your lighting conditions are different, and it will change the colour balance, and it can end up that your photos don't look, the colours aren't accurate. So one of the ways that to make life a little bit easier is, yes, a pure white background would be great, but I find that a bit boring. So that's why you want a neutral colour, not too dark, not too light, and pure white is a bit boring, hence why I've gone for this. The other one I've got here, which I'm gonna stick later and do a demonstration of how to actually do it. This is I don't know if you can see it up close, it's like a wood grain effect, so it's a white wood grain. So, excuse the noise, sorry. The reasons I like these foam boards, I mean, I can't remember how much they cost in Hobbycraft. I actually got, these were old poster boards from work, from some sort of promotion thing. They were going in the bin, but they're basically, it's like a foam between two pieces of like super thin plastic. So they're sturdy, they're a little bit, you can see there's a bit of flex in that, but they're very, very lightweight. An alternative to that would be a piece of hardboard, which you can get at somewhere like Wix or B&Q or any sort of hardware store like that. So these ones are about 70-ish centimetres deep by just over a metre wide. And what I'll do is, when I'm doing my photo, these basically, because they're lightweight and they're thin, they can go behind or under the sofa, so that when I'm not using them, they're not taking up any space. And when I want to take my photos, pull them out from under the sofa, pop one out there, and I'll stick another one up next to it, and I've got my photo background. I'll set up my lighting, which I'll show you another time, and a reflector, but this is a super quick and easy background Yes, you can get the pop-up domes and all that sort of stuff, and if you want to go and get that, that's great. I'm just showing you what I have. So I particularly want to get something that if it's under the sofa or behind the sofa, it's quick and lightweight, and it means that I can set up here, or I can set up in the other room, wherever I can, where it's going to be nice and quiet and away from the kids and not create too much mess, basically. So that's them. And it depends on what I'm photographing as to whether I use the white background or the grey. It does depend on my mood. Sometimes I like to mix it up a bit, it depends. But yeah, there you go. Where this doesn't work for me is this is great for your small and medium sized objects. What I do have a problem is with regards to taking photos of clothes. I've tried on the back of the door and I don't think that looks particularly good. Sometimes I don't really have an option. I've tried where I've had these sort of stacked, one there and one on top of the other, but they keep falling down. That's not brilliant either. I've tried the paper roll, but I haven't got anything to really hook that up on, and it's because if I had a permanent room, for the photography, I'd probably have a blind or something that I can pull down and put away, but because I don't have that permanent fixture, that space to do this, I find it quite difficult to have a good option for taking full length pictures of clothes. However, what I've got is I bought a couple of second-hand sets of shelving which I've used in the garage for my overstock, and there's a hardboard panel that goes at the back of them, but I found that if I took that out and put a couple of braces in so it wasn't wobbly, I can use that old hardboard backing, which I'll show you. So that is about, in fact, have I got a ruler around there? 82 by 160. So decent size. This isn't perfect by any means. It would be nice to have something square because I like to take a square format photo. Fine if I'm taking a picture of a short piece of clothing, but if I want to take a long piece of clothing like a dress or a coat, I'm going to have no option but to take it in the portrait format. But this is, because it's a sort of a beige coloured finish, that can taint the colour when I'm taking the photo, and it can make the colours of the clothing inaccurate, which is where this comes in. So this is that whitewashed sort of wood grain effect. So basically I'm going to stick this onto here, and it means again this is something that can go, I'll show you the back so you know what I mean. So this is sort of hardboard you can get at a DIY store. You actually get these in white, so if you just want something plain white, just get something from the hardware store and that'll be perfect for it. I like to have something with a bit of texture, hence why I use the concrete and the marble finish, and why I've got this wood grain one. So, and there are loads of different finishes, that's just the ones I've got, so pick what suits you. I'm not saying get the marble or get the concrete, but neutral colours, so your whites and your greys are going to mean that your colours are more accurate. This would taint it, and it's like a warmer colour which could fool the camera, and the camera then, whether it's on your phone or an actual camera, it would then potentially alter your colour balance, making your colour inaccurate. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically show you how I stick this on. So effectively it's a film with that's self-adhesive, and you've got to peel off the backing paper. So I'll lay this flat on the table, peel the edge back and fold it. Once I've got that front edge stuck down, obviously I'm not going to do it vertically, I'm going to keep peeling away the backing paper and making sure that the adhesive side then sticks to this. It's not a quick process, but it is worth doing properly because otherwise you get bubbles. So as you're peeling away the backing, you can use something like, I mean you can get a squeegee or something like that, but I tend to use what did I use last time? I used some post-it notes. So basically get your pack of post-it notes, and as you're peeling away the backing paper, you cut in and just push behind it, squeezing out the air bubbles. So when that's finished, I'm going to have an 80 by 160 piece of board, which I can hang a hook on to put the clothing on. It'll be white, and I can get use that for taking pictures of full-size decent bits of clothing, including coats. But because it's flat, it'll go on the sofa or behind the sofa. Because it's self-supporting, I can lean it up against the table or wall anywhere in the house, which means I'm not tied to doing this in any one place. As long as I've got a socket for the lights and I've got my camera, I can put this anywhere. If I want to, if it's a nice day in the garden, I can lean that up in the garden and not go outside and take photos. It doesn't matter monkeys. So that's something for me that is key, is being portable. So it's not as great as the foam board because it's heavier, but it's probably going to be sturdier. So there's swings and roundabouts. It's ups and downs, whatever you want to say. So I will get on with putting on the film. I'll probably speed it up because it will be boring if you want to watch me doing it the whole way through, and I'll show you the finished article in a moment. So I've roughly cut it to size. It's a little bit too wide, a little bit too long, and it just makes it easier if you cut it roughly to size. You don't want it exact, because when you're laying it, it could go a little bit skew with, and then you've got a bare patch. So I've given it about inch and a bit of width and an inch and a bit of length, just to make sure that if it does go a little bit skew with, that the overhang still means that this is still covered. So as I go along, I'll stick it all through, and then when I finish, there'll be the overhang over the edge, which I'll just get a decent Stanley knife it off, and it will all look good. So what I'll do, so got instructions on the back telling you how to do it. If this was a new piece of board, wouldn't need to clean it, but it was in my garage, so I've given it a good clean. It's now dry. It's not a perfect bit of board, it's a little bit bent. There's a couple of screw holes in it which I've taped over. It's not perfect, and it will mean whenever there's because this is a thin film, whenever there's a deviation or a hole or a crack or a mark, it will show through. But that's another reason that I've got something that's textured, so it masks it. And the reality is, as I'm going to have a piece of clothing hanging off it anyway, it doesn't really matter. The odd little thing that isn't quite right isn't the end of the world. Don't stress too much about it. So if you get any creases, folds, don't worry, don't stress. So got it roughly the right size, got it rolled up. What I'll do, I'll peel back this first section, stick it to the end, and then as this is down at that end, the paper I'll peel off underneath, and I'll smooth it along this way. So I'm going to shut my mouth and crack on now, and you'll see how I get on. So the first thing I've done, I've laid it out. I've got the first 1.5 inches peeled back of the backing paper, so I can pull it and re-stick it if I need to. And I'm just making sure I've got about 1 inch, well, 3/4 of an inch on either side all the way. So if it does go squiffy, we've still got enough, and I've got about another inch of overhang at the back. So that I think looks good. So just stick down that first edge. Smooth that out. Okay, and then I can now re-roll that up underneath. So the backing paper's still on, other than that first inch. You can use a set of post-it notes or a squeegee. I'm using a coaster because it's got the cork backing, so it just makes it, got something that's got a little bit of give and softness to help when you're pulling the backing paper away. So basically I'm using it like a squeegee. Try and make sure it's smoothed down. And don't go in too big a movement in one go, because that's where you can come unstuck. why am I using the coaster? And I can use this mat. That'll be a hell of a lot easier because it's a lot bigger. Don't be tempted to rush and pull off more in one go than is necessary. If you go too quickly, what you'll end up doing is getting lots of air bubbles. So that's what I'm doing. I'm squeezing out the air as I'm pulling away the back in. But if you do too much at one side, you get bubbles at the other end, which is why you can see me just sort of working my way up and down. Actually, this is a perfect thing, a corked back placemat is absolutely brilliant as a squeegee for this. Right, that's it. That's looking pretty good. A few bubbles, nothing major. But if you do have any bubbles, get yourself a decent sharp Stanley, not something that's a little bit knackered and tear. You want a newish blade. And what you can do is you can basically find the bubble. So we've got a little bit of a bubble there. And you can do a very, very gentle cut into it. And then you can squeegee out the air through that cut. Not perfect, but better. Right, just going to trim the edge off now, so it's about 1/2 inch excess Stanley knife. I've made sure it's not near the edge of my table because I don't want to take the edge off an Urkel table with a Stanley. So basically I'm going to push the knife up against the edge of the board as I'm peeling back the excess. So this is it finished. So you see it's a nice neutral whitewashed grain, but it's just a piece of crappy hardboard. Any marks or knocks are going to be disguised by the grain, and that's a decent size background now. So now that's all done. I might get a second one because, as I said, I like to have a square photo so there's less editing. So yeah, that's fine if I've got a jumper on here, but if I've got something long like a dress, that's not going to be ideal. So what's great is that can lean up against the wall, lean up against the table, and it's going to be relatively sturdy. And then whatever I've got, so in this case got a nice, this is a dress by NW3, which is an offshoot of Hobbs. So I can now do my flat lays. Problem is, as I said, I can't do a full wide shot. But if I get 2 of these, it doesn't matter if they're a bit of overlap. It means I can do nice big items. But yeah, I think that is going to make my life a little bit easier now that I've got something. So I've always got a consistent background that I can put up anywhere in the house. So whichever house in the room is busy, I can go somewhere quiet and do this. I can even go out in the garden, set this up, and I've got a standard background. No, it looks a bit washed out over there because I've got the light on it. I wonder if I move the light back, if that'll make it a bit easier to see the grain. Not brilliant for videoing. Hopefully that gives you an idea. That's my video light, that's not the lights I use. But yeah, nice plain background. As you're getting closer, you can see the wood grain. So hopefully that's given you an idea of some alternative or some options for you for your photographic backgrounds for eBay. For me personally, this works. It's not going to work for everyone, but I need something that's portable, that can be put away and not seen. So because they are literally 5mm thick, go straight under the sofa, and it just means that when I'm not using it, they're not taking up any space, not blocking anything. When I do want to use it, they're nice and easy to move around and set up wherever and whenever I need to. So the convenience factor is brilliant. The roll of DC fix film was about, for the big one, for the door size piece, I think it was about 8 or 9 quid. For these ones, can't remember, might have been a little bit more because I got a little bit longer because I needed to do 2 lengths. So these are, how long are these? These are 110 each, so I had to get something that was longer than 2 meters. I think they do them in 5 meter rolls, 2 meters and 5 meter rolls. So that's what I needed for those. I think there are other brands out there that can do it. I went for DC Fix because it's a brand that I've seen before. Once I'd used it, I knew it worked, so I'm happy to get DC Fix again. Other good points are it's wipe clean. So if I'm using this grey one for shoes, sometimes you get a bit of dirt from the shoes on here. Nice quick wipe over with a baby wipe or a bit of anti-bac, wipe it off and it's cleaning, ready to go again. So yeah, inexpensive, lightweight, easy to use. I'll put links in the description below, so if it is something that you want to get, you can go and get DC Fix things through Amazon, and it's ballpark figure the same as what you're going to pay in somewhere like The Range or Wilko's, again other places which stock it. But yeah, no, really good, really useful. If you buy it through the Amazon affiliate links, I get 2 or 3% kickback, which is nice. So if you do get it that way, thank you very much. But yeah, I will do a follow-up video at some point showing you how I set up my lighting for my photos, and I can set up my the backgrounds and lights. I think it's like less than 5 minutes, and get it all set up, bang, 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 take some photos. So I might do a batch session of photography for an hour, put it all away, and it's like I was never there. So yeah, hopefully that's given you a bit of an idea of how I set things up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions or queries, whack it in the comments. And if you're still watching, please put up a thumbs up or a like or whatever. If you're thinking about putting a thumbs down, why are you still watching? What are you doing here? Go, bye. See you next time.